Hello and welcome to Blythe Business News. For this edition, I'm joined by Segun Lawson, who is President and Chief Executive of Thor Explorations. Thor, listed in London on the AIM market and also in Canada on the TSXV market, with a symbol of THX and a market capitalization of around £111 million. Regular viewers will know Thor as the operator of the producing gold mine, the Segilola gold mine in Nigeria, but I'm sure we'll get to that. But first, Segun, welcome back on the program. You've been branching out. You've announced you've secured, I think it's over 600 square kilometers of lithium pegmatite for exploration in Nigeria. Now, that's an interesting departure. Tell us what you can about it.
Hi, Tim. It's good to be back on here. First and foremost, it's not quite a departure. You know, we are a gold producer. Our primary focus is gold and our cash flow from the gold, which underpins the value from the company. And our primary exploration focus is to extend the mine life of the Segilola mine. So, you know, we have drills turning there, and that continues to be our top priority. But, you know, when we put on a different hat, we're also a first mover miner in Nigeria. You know, we built our first gold mine, but we've also built the first gold mine in Nigeria. And that comes along with 7 years of experience in country, advancing the project from maiden resource through the various stages of feasibility, through construction and into production. And we've gained a lot of in-country experience. We've, you know, built an excellent team in country, built an exploration team, got a great understanding of the geology there, built great relationships with locals, with various stakeholders in the ministry, and, you know, also got a lot of capital equipment, large, heavy, earth-moving equipment. You know, we have, you know, trucks, cars, light vehicles, excavators, access to drill rigs. And that has given us an excellent first-mover competitive advantage. So we've always kept the optionality that if there was anything compelling enough, that was value accretive to the company and its shareholders, we would take a serious look at it. Now, knowing the geology of Nigeria and historically the tin pegmatites and the abundance of lithium there, which hasn't really been commercial up until recently, and knowing the lithium supply demand gap for the foreseeable future, we came across initially the high interest in lithium in Nigeria, and small scale production, rudimentary artisanal production, which is being produced and exported to China. And we just had a closer look at it, spent some time doing some reconnaissance work, sending samples to accredited labs in South Africa, and very pleasantly surprised by the results, the assay results that came back. And, you know, as a first mover in Nigeria, being able to put this land package together at a minimal cost through applications and pegging the ground ourselves and signing a few earning agreements, this is really an opportunity we thought was too good to miss. And so we've gone ahead and done that. What does that mean going forward? It means, you know, we have a gold business. This doesn't detract away from it. We are internally funded. We don't need to raise any third-party equity to dilute shareholders. We have a second project in the Douta project in Senegal. We're still advancing that to a preliminary feasibility study this year. But this gives us massive option value with exposure to some high-grade lithium. We have a budget to do an initial 5,000 meters of drilling. And after we do that 5,000 meters of drilling, we'll have some decisions to make about prioritizing, you know, where our next meters go. But this is certainly something that can, you know, have a massive impact on the valuation of the company should we find any commercial resources or reserves. And it's option value, which we think we're using our first mover advantage in country to leverage on.
Okay, so I get that. You're building on that first mover advantage you have with the gold, exploiting the advantage you already have been in the country, of already being there. So the lithium makes a lot of sense strategically for you. You're exploring now. Give us a quick overview. What can we expect exploration-wise? What you're going to be doing in the next few months, and what does that mean then for the next steps of the lithium assets?
So we've been doing some reconnaissance work and understanding which are the best belts to explore on. That's already happened. We've kicked off a scout drilling program. We expect results from that scout drilling program to start coming in July, and we'll be happy to give the market the results of this drilling program. And then after that, look, we have some decisions to make, whether we step up the exploration drilling there, whether we move from other standalone areas in Nigeria on the gold side and reprioritize those meters in the lithium, or whether we take the lithium down a slower path whilst we advance other things. That's the beauty about it. We've got a number of options here, but our advantage is the ability that if we do find something compelling, the ability we have to fast track it to production at a low cost and at using our internal resources.
Okay, so fast track to production if it all works out. Lithium, we get very excited about lithium, especially on this show. It's essential for the green transition. It's essential for the batteries for electric vehicles. This is the first time, it's the first move, as you say, in Nigeria that someone's looking at lithium. What does this mean within Nigeria to have lithium in country? What can it mean for the country?
First of all, I would say it's not the first time. Has been an influx of Chinese players having a look around at the moment, serious players as well, with a few $billion market caps. So that's very interesting for us to see that these guys are taking it seriously. But more importantly, in a Nigeria context, where the country has made a lot of public statements about the importance of diversifying from oil and gas, the importance of mining to the economy, the importance of these critical metals to the economy. Yes, we're starting pretty upstream of the mining, but a long-term success story for us and for the country would be seeing further downstream, lithium hydroxide plants, battery manufacturing plants, producing the end products in the country. So we think this is a massive step. First of all, proving up the resources. We're miners, we're mine builders, and hopefully, we in the midterm we build our first lithium mine, as well as the fact we built our first gold mine, and then the country would see the wider Nigerian economy would see the benefits from that.
All right, let's now take you back to the gold mine, back to the current powerhouse of Thor Explorations, Segun Lawson. You've just very recently announced the first quarter results. Could you give our viewers, please, an overview of what you were saying in the results?
Yeah, after completing our first calendar year as a producer, we were very happy with that. We finished at the top end of our guidance. We always knew this would be a more challenging year as we entered into a high strip ratio area for the first half of the year. And, as per the definitive feasibility study and the mine plan, we're only supposed to produce 72,000 ounces this year. We expect to beat that. We expect to be between 85 and 95,000 ounces this year. And the first quarter we knew would be very challenging, very high strip ratio, difficult area to mine. But we've come out of that, and we've been very happy with how we've performed operationally. We produced 20,600 ounces. We managed to generate a profitable quarter again, a net profit of $4 million. We sold over 21,000 ounces of gold. And I think most importantly, we're now towards the end of Q2 and, probably about 10 days away from coming out of this difficult area. So a lot of our production and lower costs are weighted towards the second half of the year. We're happy we're approaching that relatively unscathed and looking forward to the second half of the year. After which, from Q4 onwards, we're looking at, 8 or 9 quarters in a row of very strong gold production. So yeah, look, we're very well positioned.
I was reading a broker's note earlier on this week, looking at your first quarter results, and they were expecting you'd be moving into higher grade areas of the mine as well, higher grade gold. Are they right?
Yeah, that's correct. These last few months and the upcoming month is definitely going to be, as per the mine plan, the lowest grade period for the Segun Lawson mine. And then I don't know if you remember our drill results from pre-construction, but with some of the deeper holes, we're living in very high grade at that point. But we've the ore body is the ore body. We're not manufacturing widgets here where we can only play with what exists there. And, we've always known we're going to have to go through this rough phase. And, we're glad by how, we've approached it and how we've tackled it.
Well, thanks for all of that. Let's finish, please. You mentioned earlier you've got the assets in Senegal. Give us a quick overview of the gold exploration in Nigeria and Senegal and what that might hold for the future.
Yeah, so we have a couple of drill programs going on in Nigeria at the moment near the mine, the Western Prospects, where we announced the initial results. We have more results to come out later on this quarter. We're also drilling a second target slightly northeast of the mine and hoping to get those results out before the end of this quarter as well. In Senegal, we've been pushing ahead to preliminary feasibility study. All the initial drilling for the preliminary feasibility study work streams have been done. So we've completed the metallurgy drilling, we've completed the geotech drilling, and they've been sent off to the various labs. Now we're doing some infill resource drilling. The objective for this drill program is to try and lift the grade in the pits without massively increasing the tonnage. So we're drilling a number of high-grade areas. And then we're also infilling the new discovery we had in the north, Sambara. So there's lots of going on, and we should start having drill result news out this quarter as well. So there's, lots of news flow to come, underpinned by our quarterly operational updates and cash flow and gold production in Nigeria, exploration in Senegal, and then the latest value accretive addition is exploration on the lithium side.
Well, thank you for that, Segun. You've probably stolen my summary, but as you said, great results coming out of Segilola. Let's just reiterate, expected production of between 85 and 95,000 ounces is your guidance for this year. Looking good on lithium, looking good on exploration. You must come back and keep us updated. That was Segun Lawson, Chief Executive of Thor Explorations, giving us a really good overview of what's going on in Nigeria for his company. That's it for this edition of Blythe Business News. Thanks for watching.